Hey everyone, today I'm here with a Tiffany's tell-all question, and I haven't done a tell-all in quite a while. We've been so busy, as most of you know, so I'm here to answer a tell-all, and it's not just one specific question. It's mainly about our living situation. We've had many questions in regards to our living situation, and why we moved and what we're doing or what we're planning on doing. So I'm going to read off a few questions and answer those for you today. So what is our living situation right now and why did we move? I've gotten many questions, so I'm not going to list someone specifically, but basically we had our own house. We owned it or had a mortgage on it, and we decided to sell it. And the reason why we decided to sell is because we are hoping to build. Right. Hoping to build. So we are not in the process of building yet, and what we are hoping for is that we find a piece of property and can start slowly working on that piece of property to clear it if it needs clearing, and then building our house. So we have the house planned out. We know exactly what we want. It's just a matter of finding the right piece of property, and when that comes up, then we're able to purchase it right away, and go from there. So in the meantime, we are living with my parents. Their names are Mark and Kathy, because I've gotten that question as well. What are their names? Mark and Kathy are my parents, and we are living in their house. Now, we originally planned on staying here for a little while in our trailer, just until we could move on to our piece of property. However, because we haven't found the piece of property yet, our house sold very quickly, we didn't get the chance to do that. So my dad actually redid his basement for us, and we are living in the basement. As most of you know, Michaela is living upstairs, and that was one of the questions. Why isn't she down here with us in Damien's room and put Damien somewhere else? Or why isn't Michaela down here with us? And the main reason is because we are not lifting her up and down the stairs every day for nighttime. It doesn't make any sense. It can be dangerous, and it's just, she has her own room from when we lived here before, so we just moved her right back into that room. Another question I got, I'm not sure who it was, but someone asked why was it only Michaela and I that lived here before, and the main reason is because Kyle and I were very young when I had Michaela. My dad did offer to have us live in the basement, and we decided no. We wanted to work towards our own house and move in together then, which we did. But Kyle just literally lived right behind mom and dad's house in his dad's house, so it wasn't like we were far apart. Kyle was here every day, and cared for her just as much as I did. So the next question comes from someone, and I do believe I've had this question a couple times, just worded differently. So this question comes from Jerry Fortune, I believe. Sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly, but they say, do the kids understand what's going on? So excited for your new home. Thank you. So the kids, as for Michaela, obviously she doesn't understand what's going on, or she may understand, she just can't communicate that to us. And as for Damien, I don't think he really understood what was happening when we were in the moving process. However, now he understands that he has his room, and it's his own space like he did have at our house. And then the other question, I'm not sure if I saved it. Yes, I did. So this question comes from Nana Mummy for Life, and she says, love your videos. You are such an amazing mom. How are the kids adjusting to the change of moving back to your mom and dad's house? So thank you. That's a great question. So how are the kids adjusting? Michaela had no problem adjusting. She stays here fairly often with mom and dad, and she's always stayed in her room. or on the couch or whatever, so she hasn't really had a problem adjusting. And as for Damien, the first night in his room was a little rough just because he didn't understand his surroundings because it was all new. But then again, I didn't even sleep that well. So as for him though, he, I think, knew we were going to be living here before we actually moved out of the house. Because we were here all the time, and all he wanted was to go back to Nanny and Papa's. When we went back to the house for the last time, he literally fought us to come back to our house because he wanted to stay with Nanny and Papa. So he loves it here. He loves that he can be full-time with his Nanny and Papa, but he loves it here. And now that he has his own room, he's got his own space, and that's awesome. So he's adjusting well, no problem there. Both kids are great and we're doing great. Having our own space has really helped with the transition to a new space. It's been fairly easy transitioning. There was also another question. I don't believe I kept the question though. Someone asked, why isn't Damien in the room upstairs that I used to stay in? And the reason being is because Damien is our responsibility. If Michaela could walk and talk and all that, she would be down here with us as well. But Damien is our responsibility, and it's enough already that Michaela is upstairs, and if Mom and Dad hear her, they kind of tend to her a little bit during the night. They'll come get us if need be, but if she coughs or whatever, they will go in her room. As for Damien, you know, I really would like for him to be right next to us or in a room of his own so that I can tend to him in the morning. So that way there's no way that I can sleep in while Damien's up and my parents are watching him. So he is our responsibility, and that is why he's here. And if Mom and Dad are not up, if they have a chance to sleep in, I want Damien down here so that he's not making ruckus upstairs, and it just seems to work well for us. So like I said, I had a lot of questions in regards to our living situation and why we sold, and I have answered that in previous videos, and I did answer it earlier in this video. But basically, yes, we sold our house, and we are hoping to build. We are not looking to buy another house. Obviously, if the time comes, if the market was to drop, or we found a house that really worked for us, then we would consider buying a house. But our main goal is to build our next home. And this question comes from Tiffany Dawn, and like I said, I just pretty much answered that. But okay, obviously I'm a little behind. I know you sold your house, so you're moving into your parents' home. Is this closer to the hospital? So like I said, we did move into my parents' house, and that is because we just haven't found a piece of property yet to build our house. And then the next question was, is it closer to the hospital? And no, it is not. It is in the exact same town, and we have never been concerned about living as far away from a hospital as we are. It's never really crossed our minds to move closer to a hospital, because if we do move closer to a hospital, we move closer to a town that we don't really want to be in. It gets more expensive, and it's not as more of a country feel. We feel like we can care for Michaela in the way that we need to from home, and it would only be in an emergency situation that we would need to be closer to a hospital. And even then, you call an ambulance and we can get to a near hospital fairly quickly. So that's not much of a concern. I have answered that in a previous tell-all before. I'll have that link below, I guess, to answer a little bit more. So there is one more question, and I cannot remember who said it, but they asked about the cats and Diesel. How are they adjusting, and how is Mom and Dad's cat adjusting? And all of the animals seem to be doing fairly well. Diesel was here all the time, so him and my mom and dad's cat get along, or get along as much as a cat and dog will normally. So they get along no problem. However, my cats are downstairs. We have a door separating the two floors so that the cats don't come in contact with each other, because they have kind of met at the doorway, and they do kind of, I guess, talk to each other and like hiss at each other. So we try and keep them separate. They haven't actually come face to face yet, and I'm hoping that they don't. Maybe in time they will become a little bit more adjusted to the fact that there are more cats in one area than normal. But my cats are doing really well. The first night they definitely hid. Holly has the type of personality where she'll find a spot to hide and stay there until she feels comfortable in coming out. Harley, on the other hand, will adventure and kind of go around and see his surroundings. So that's the two different personalities that they have. But now they're out full, just as much as they were at our house. Obviously, if Damien's around, they tend to hide a little bit because he is loud and busy. So my cats are doing well, Diesel's doing well, Little Miss is doing well, and I think that's all for today's video. I hope that answered most of your questions about our living situation now and what's to come in the future. Hopefully I'll have more on that hopefully soon. But anyways, as of right now, this is our living situation, and I will be doing a basement apartment tour for you on Monday. I just finished filming that not long ago before this video. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.